would love to hear from everyone, like how do we find the balance in solving the plastic waste crisis altogether, but not exhausting ourselves. Maybe Kieran, you would like to start with that?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. Especially early on in the journey of when you're shifting toward zero waste, like I said, you open up to this whole new world and you become very critical, or you can become very critical of yourself and other people. And your small slip-ups that you make or forgetting things, like it just becomes frustrating, and that in itself like brings no benefit to you. I think the most beneficial thing is for us to just recognize that this is a zero waste or low waste living, or whatever you want to call it, is a journey of ups and downs, is a journey of learning and just discovering. You know, I've had times where I went quite militant on zero waste, where I wouldn't consume any plastic, and it just wasn't beneficial for me. Some things you will find will come in packaging, but will be, you know, part of the way that you want to ensure that you have the best health you can. So then it becomes about a balance. And I think what we said at the start of the conversation was this idea of how much is the plastic worth the thing inside of it, and where does that balance up on a scale? And if that thing inside is important and you can justify it, it's about being aware as well, being aware of that thing that you're consuming, and knowing, is there an alternative? If not, am I aware of what's happening here? Am I happy to make that decision? You know, it's in packaging, but it's fair trade. It's like, it doesn't use palm oil, whatever it may be. And that's why I think where we just, we can avoid the judgment of ourselves. We can make that choice and make it an intentional, a conscious choice. And then there's power in that. That's empowering, rather than just buying things for the sake of it and not really understanding the impact.
Nice. I love that, Kieran. Thank you so much for that. And Sylvia, what would be your tip on like how to find the balance?
I think it's progress over perfection. And, you know, we are hard on ourselves. We also, as Kieran mentioned, you know, we look at other people and point fingers, but, you know, there is no zero in zero waste. You know, there's always going to be waste. So people, you know, when you talk about zero waste lifestyle, people do get overwhelmed. They do get stressed about it. They don't know where to begin. And it's just about starting small. And when you do start, it's like a rabbit going down a rabbit hole. You just want to keep doing more and more, but it's everyone's own personal journey. You know, your journey is different to mine. All of our journeys are different, and it's doing it at your own pace, and moving forward with it.
Yeah, I love that. You don't need to be perfect to start. That's exactly what it is. Thank you, Sylvia. Neela, do you have a tip?
I think people already said, but what I really like what it's saying, I use a lot of example of indigenous community, because I come from an indigenous community in Indonesia. This is something that I realized that with the zero waste movement, I started like learning it from the West, but then I realized that my indigenous community already do this like for thousands of years, you know? Yeah, I really think it's coming back to, like the basic. We need to, when we already know what is the type of waste that we created, and then sometimes it's becoming overwhelmed. Like, at least that's what happened to me the first time I started to live zero waste, that I thought, why am I using this many items or plastic or disposable item? So I think reflecting to that point on why we do this, and then see whether we can, like change it up, and whether we can make an alternative out of this. Because of course, as a personal changes, sometimes you need some things, like you need to take showers, you need to brush your teeth. So you need alternative to have in hand in comparison to the disposable one. And when you're reflecting, this is also the time when you distinguish between your need and your desire. So what is the thing that you need, and what is your desire? So focusing on the thing that you need is better than focusing on your desire on things, because you will never be able to fulfill this. You'll never be able to be happy if you keep focusing on your desire, but focus on your need. Every single time you stumble upon something, ask for help, because that's how we do this. Everybody learn from each other, everybody learn from other people, and learning from mistakes is also very important.
Yeah, fail and learn. I love that concept, and getting help from other people. Thank you, Neela. That's great. Sitraka, do you have inputs on that, or an advice to give people?
Yes, everything has been said. Progress over perfection, back to basics, because before we didn't have all these single-use plastics. And as Mila said, like I'm originally from Madagascar, and we didn't have single-use plastic before packaged goods. We had banana leaves as well. So it's possible, and the banana leaves are still there, and they are growing, right? They are accessible. It depends where you are. And yes, be kind to yourself, and everyone is different. Everyone has different needs. So don't compare yourself to others. Of course, we are humans, so we tend to do that sometimes, but you don't have to. Your journey is your journey. Just take it one step at a time. See where you can make changes, and start from like one product at a time, one less trash at a time.
Great, thank you, Citraka.